iron is basically a ductile iron which goes through a special heat.
I think the first thing, if you're in gray iron and you want to go to
Age in the subcontinent is older than 3000 BC. What do I think about this?
1.6 billion tons of iron ore have left Minnesota.
We know they're aware of iron, but there's just no evidence of
Iron, one of the most abundant elements on Earth, has played a critical role in shaping human civilization. From the early days of mankind, iron was regarded as a rare and mystical substance, first encountered as fragments from the sky in the form of meteorites. Its evolution from a revered celestial metal to the backbone of modern industry reflects not only technological advancement, but also the transformation of society, economy, and warfare through the ages. As civilizations grew, so too did their mastery over this resilient and versatile material. The history of iron is as much about innovation and adaptation as it is about power and survival. Ancient cultures discovered iron's strength and utility gradually, initially through ornamentation, and then through weapons and tools. Over time, as humans learned to extract and refine iron from ore, it replaced bronze and became the primary material for everything from agriculture to architecture. Each era, ancient, medieval, and modern, ushered in a new chapter in iron's story, leaving behind a legacy that continues to influence the present day. This journey through iron's past offers more than a technical history. It offers a lens into the evolving needs, desires, and capabilities of humanity. From the ritual objects of pharaohs to the steel spires of skyscrapers, iron has continuously proven its value and adaptability. Understanding its development helps us appreciate not only the material itself, but the civilizations that shaped and were shaped by it. Iron's earliest known use dates back to prehistoric times, when ancient peoples used fragments of meteoritic iron to create beads and ceremonial tools. These celestial metals, rich in nickel, were considered divine gifts and reserved for royalty or religious rites. Civilizations such as the Egyptians and Mesopotamians treasured these rare items long before learning how to extract iron from the earth. By around 1500 BC, the Hittites of Anatolia were among the first to smelt iron from terrestrial ores, albeit in small quantities. The discovery of bloomery furnaces marked a turning point as it enabled smiths to forge tools and weapons from iron, laying the groundwork for what would later become the Iron Age. By the turn of the first millennium BC, ironworking knowledge had spread across the Near East, into India, and across Europe and China. In India, independent developments led to the creation of high-carbon steel known as woots, a precursor to Damascus steel. Meanwhile, in China, the innovation of cast iron around 500 BC allowed for the mass production of complex tools and weapons. These advancements greatly improved agricultural output, military strength, and economic growth. Iron transitioned from a luxury item to a critical component of everyday life, enabling the expansion of empires and the rise of more complex societies. During classical antiquity, civilizations like Greece and Rome elevated iron use to unprecedented levels. The Romans in particular developed a vast infrastructure of iron production, utilizing water-powered bellows and furnaces capable of producing thousands of tons of iron annually. This allowed for the mass manufacturing of tools, weapons, and construction materials, enabling their vast empire to function efficiently. Iron's ubiquity during this time was instrumental in the creation of roads, aqueducts, and military equipment, cementing its role as a driver of civilization. In the medieval period, iron technology continued to evolve, especially in Europe. The invention of the water-powered blast furnace during the High Middle Ages revolutionized iron production. These furnaces could achieve higher temperatures, producing larger quantities of refined iron and even crude steel. Blacksmiths became central figures in medieval society, responsible for creating everything from agricultural tools to armor and weapons. Castles, cathedrals, and towns all relied on iron to varying degrees, whether in reinforcement, decoration, or defense. The medieval battlefield was transformed by iron. Chainmail, swords, helmets, and eventually plate armor gave rise to a warrior class equipped with iron protection. Iron-shod horses and weaponry such as the longbow and crossbow bolts changed the dynamics of warfare. while iron tools enabled the growth of agriculture and craftsmanship. The proliferation of iron tools also meant more efficient farming, allowing populations to grow and towns to flourish. Trade in iron goods became increasingly important in medieval Europe. Mining operations expanded, particularly in Germany and Scandinavia, where high-quality iron was exported to other parts of Europe. Iron became a staple of medieval economies, with towns emerging near ore deposits and forging centers. The Hanseatic League, for example, traded iron throughout Northern Europe, linking economies and fostering a network of industrial collaboration long before the modern era. The advent of the Industrial Revolution in the 18th century marked iron's greatest transformation. The development of coke-fired blast furnaces and the refinement of smelting techniques allowed for the mass production of wrought iron and eventually steel. The Bessemer process, developed in the 19th century, made steel production cheaper and faster, propelling it to the forefront of modern construction and manufacturing. Iron and steel became the backbone of railways, bridges, and skyscrapers, symbols of the industrial and economic might of the modern world. In the 20th and 21st centuries, iron's role has only expanded. From the frames of automobiles and airplanes to surgical instruments and computing hardware, iron and its alloys are integral to daily life. Advances in metallurgy have produced specialized steels for extreme environments, such as submarines, spacecraft, and nuclear reactors. Iron is also a crucial component in renewable energy technologies like wind turbines and electric motors, making it central not only to industrialization but also to sustainability. Iron fundamentally changed the course of human history by making tools and weapons stronger, cheaper, and more accessible. It allowed societies to build more, farm more, and defend more effectively. It democratized access to technology, as communities no longer relied solely on trade for bronze components like tin. The widespread availability of iron catalyzed economic independence and innovation in agriculture, warfare, transportation, and construction. Moreover, iron enabled the rise of large, complex societies by supporting administrative, military, and infrastructural needs. Empires such as Rome, dynasties like Han China, and industrial nations in modern times owe their success in large part to the availability and use of iron. Its role in shaping technological revolutions and expanding human capabilities is unmatched by any other metal. One lesser-known aspect of iron's history is its use in traditional medicine and spirituality. Across cultures, iron objects have been used to ward off evil, improve health, or bring good fortune. In India, for instance, iron rings and amulets are still worn for protection against bad luck. In ancient China and parts of Europe, iron knives were believed to banish spirits or were buried with the dead to ensure safe passage to the afterlife. These beliefs highlight iron's symbolic significance beyond its utilitarian value. Another interesting note is the environmental and social impact of iron production. Early mining and smelting often led to deforestation, soil degradation, and pollution. The demand for charcoal in bloomeries and furnaces transformed landscapes and influenced settlement patterns. The labor-intensive nature of early ironworking also created class divisions and specialized artisan groups whose knowledge was passed down for generations. These cultural imprints demonstrate how deeply iron has influenced not just technology, but also ecology and social structures throughout human history. Iron's story is not just a tale of metallurgy, it is a chronicle of human advancement, creativity, and resilience. From meteoric relics admired by ancient kings to the forged swords of empires, the reinforced stone of medieval strongholds, and the steel skeletons of modern cities, iron has been both a silent partner and a driving force behind humanity's greatest transformations. Its capacity to evolve alongside us, to meet our changing needs across millennia, cements its place as one of the most consequential materials in history. By tracing iron's enduring legacy, we gain deeper insight into the ingenuity and determination that define the human spirit.